mic. Milanista report, we break it down right for the culture, for the tactics, for the game. AC Milan forever repping the name. It's Nicko in the booth, bringing truth to the scene. Milanista report, freshest vibe you ever seen. When it comes to defense, ain't nobody sharper. Breaking down duels like I'm Paulo's partner. Maldini on the line, that's where it all starts. Tactical knowledge, hitting hard like street smarts. Every episode, man, is deeper than the stats. I'm dropping game plans like I'm playing with the cats. Rossing every pride, this ain't no side hustle. Analyzing plays with that mob deep muscle. From the back line to the final third press, it's all love from Milan, ain't no second guess. The Milanista report, the realest in the game. Nicko with the knowledge, always staying flame for the love of Milan. Paulo's name and lights, we the source for tactics, always taking flight. Milanista report, ain't no doubt it's the best. We breaking down the system, every move we assess. From the defensive grind to the team's attack, Nicko got your back with that Ross in every tag. Yo, it's deeper than just watching the goals and the hype. We study every battle, the defensive type. From Maldini to Baresi, I break down the flow. Nicko in the cut, giving y'all the real show. This podcast ain't a game, it's a masterclass. Peep the backline setups, every tackle, every pass. Other pods just talk, but they miss the details. We focus on the struggle where the legends prevail. Talking Paulo Maldini, the heart of the club. Ain't no faking the passion, this love ain't a dub. I'm the voice of the fans, for the love of the crest. They see Milan forever, we only rock with the best. With Milanista report, the realest in the game. Nicko with the knowledge, always stay flame for the love of Milan. Paulo's name and lights, we the source for tactics, always taking flight. Milanista report, ain't no doubt it's the best. We breaking down the system, every move we assess. From the defensive grind to the team's attack, Nicko got your back with that Ross in every tack. Other pods, nah, they just scratching the surface. Nicko go deep, showing y'all the purpose. AC Milan ain't just about winning the race, it's about structure, unity, and defensive grace. So tune in, get schooled by the best in the game. Milanista report, steady rising in fame. Nicko repping hard for the red and the black. Paulo's spirit lives on and we never look back. Milanista report, a voice of the streets. Inventive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw. Milanista report, a voice of the streets. Defensive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw. Milanista report, the voice of the streets. Defensive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw. Milanista report, the voice of the streets. Defensive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw.
And we're live. Good morning, buenos dias, Milan Nation. It's your host, Nicko. Milanista report, pre-game show. What's happening, everyone? Obviously, that's a new intro. All your hip-hop heads out there, like me, that's 1990s New York style, boom bap, Mob Deep inspired track. All right. That being said, let's get on with the show. Everybody that's tuned in today, it's thanks for tuning in. All right, and let's get with it. All right, so obviously today is a big day. All right, big day in Rosaneri. Our Milan, our beloved Milan, is playing Liverpool. All right, we've had some historic battles with them, right? 05, 07, especially, right? And for me, 07 is especially special because for two reasons. In 06, I fell in love with the club. Right? 07, they played the finals in Athens, Greece, my parents' hometown. All right, so that's pretty big news. So for me, that year stands out a lot, 07. All right, and they got the revenge on Liverpool. All right, but that being said, today, totally different teams, managers, obviously. And, what Simon Fonseca brings to the team. Obviously, we recently beat Venezia 4-0, right? And Liverpool lost their game 1-0 against Nottingham Forest. They didn't play their best game, but Liverpool is a dangerous team. All right, we're going to get into the lineup and the key matchups on today's show. And, from what sounds like, either Fonseca is going to play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. So we're going to go over the 4-3-3 really quick as well, and the pros and cons of it, and see how well it could be, used against Liverpool. We have the right personnel for that as well. All right. So again, everybody, thanks for tuning in this morning, or wherever you're from. If you're locked in from Europe, Asia, East Coast, West Coast, thank you. All right, Milan Nation, let's go. Let me share my screen here, and let's get with it. All right, so SofaScore. So according to SofaScore's probable lineup, we have Calabria, we have Mike between the pipes, Calabria, Pavlovic, obviously, Tomori. So my thing is, real quick, Gabi had a really solid game. He was our most consistent center back last season, and for whatever reason, Fonseca hasn't seen that, right? He's been giving the majority of the starts to Tomori next to Pavlovic, and I said it from the beginning of the season, in the summertime, Pavlovic, Gabi is our best pairing, because Pavlovic is a meaner, bigger version of Tomori. He'll make reckless challenges. He loses focus sometimes, something that Tomori does. And you need somebody more composed in the back to kind of even that out, right? So someone like Gabi, who's much more calm in the back, much more composed, much more of a leader than Tomori ever will be. But with that being said, it looks like Tomori's getting the nod. We got Theo, double pivot, Fofana, Loftus Cheeks, Leal, Pulisic, Chuck, Morata. Morata's played against Liverpool as well. For Liverpool, we're playing in a similar formation, 4-2-3-1. And it looks like Alisson's between the pipes. Robertson, Van Dijk, obviously, Konate, Trent Alexander. And there's some other reports that I've seen Chimikas there as well on that left side. But it looks like Robertson's getting the nod. Gravenberch's had a really good start of the season. Alex McAllister. Another lineups I've seen, Endo as well. Up front, Diaz, Supolaski, right, from Red Bull, Salah, and Jota up top. So a couple of things here. So something we've talked about in the past. So the one weakness that we have to worry about this formation is 4-2-3-1 in Milan. Is this spots here, these areas right here, these gaps. All right, because you got your winger coming down this way, down the wing, and they're strong on the wing. Liverpool likes to go down the wing. They're not playing it through to their striker, right? So we're seeing a lot of play from Diaz and Salah. They're getting a lot of chances to score and create havoc, right, in the attacking third. So when you play in this formation 4-2-3-1, you have your two fullbacks, Calabria or Hernandez pinned in, right? Because they're got this space right here. So what needs to be done when you have these double pivot, which last week they weren't really exposed, right? Venezia didn't have the capability, didn't have the players to do this. But Liverpool does. So they're going to be able to do is going to explode. They're going to exploit the space, bring the ball. They're going to try to, go down the wings. And our two midfielders need to be able to cover over here the spot, slow them down, make them recycle the ball, do something, slow them down, cross the ball, do something. And then quickly, once they get past them, either double team them, or in most cases, they got to get back to their position, they got to recover. Because what happens is if they don't recover, lost his cheeks or Fofana, you have third man runs into the box, which Pavlic and Tomori, most center backs cannot handle that. So that's one thing we have to look at today. If we play this formation, these spots right here, these are the two areas that Liverpool's going to try to expose with Salah and Diaz. All right? Just keep an eye on that for sure. All right. Now, in terms of defensive tactics, let's get into Liverpool's defensive tactics. So, according to this post, so it's this guy's Tomas Bisco. I think he's a professional coach. I think. Yeah, he's UEFA A youth Elite A. He's got his A license, Youth Elites. So he did an analysis of Liverpool's mid to high press. So a couple things. So slots similar to Klopp. He likes to play a high press. It's a little bit different, but in a lot of ways it's the same. Because what Liverpool is trying to do is try to recover the ball high up the pitch, something that we're trying to accomplish. But we don't have the personnel because not all 10 players are pressing at the same time. They're not as aggressive. Right, especially for midfielders and Liao. Right, yeah, his misses assignments in previous games when he's pressing. So especially against like Palmer too. So Liverpool, they play a 1-4-2-4 pressing structure. High press, high first pressing line. They're closing the middle, so they're closing the middle of the field. So that's something that we got to keep an eye out for because we're going to try to get the ball to Fofana, lost his cheeks, and link up to get the ball to Pulisic, right? According to that lineup I just showed you, and start the attack. Because Fonseca doesn't play direct like Pioli does. Doesn't. So let's see if we can adjust that today. All right. So when support and covered by McAllister and Gravenberch, so the double pivot, they're support and covering. But when opponents fullback positioning higher or lower than the winger, when the opponent changes structure. So just take a quick look at their pressing. This is against Manchester City, Man United, really quick. Let's take a quick peek at their pressing structure. See what we have our, what we're going to be seeing today during our game against our Milan. So you can see they're working as a unit, right? So their press is super effective right now. Let's see how our team handles today. So you see right here, McAllister and Gravenberch working together as a pair. Back four is compact, right? Boom, they're working as a unit. So Diaz is cutting off, so the light's got the ball. Diaz is cutting off this option. McAllister is cutting off this option. Casemiro's Yota's on Casemiro. Zalovic is on Martinez. So they're playing like a hybrid between like a man and zonal pressing. That's what Liverpool does. And we'll get into our pressing scheme in a second. You can see how effective their press is early on in the season. Obviously, against Nottingham Forest, they weren't able to do this because some of their players didn't perform. But they only lost 1-0. Again, they're recycling the ball because they're forcing it back. And they bring it out to the winger, right? Zudi, they Callis is all over him. And there's a 3v3 on this side, right? Exactly what they want because they have the same exact numbers Liverpool then as Man United does. So that's something we need to keep a really, really focus on today's match, Milan Nation, because this is going to be if Liverpool is able to force the game and play the way they want to play, the tempo, right? Play at that high speed, counter press like they're pressing over here against Man United. We're in for a long night. Now let's get into our pressing scheme. Again, everybody in the chat, Milan Nation, hit that subscribe button, like button, smash that like button. All right, appreciate it. Now let's get into our press. So obviously our pressing is a little bit different than Liverpool's. I don't have any tactical videos like this one. Nothing's been shared online. I've tried to look. I haven't seen jack shit. But early on, it looks like Fonseca plays a man-to-man. So we saw it against Parma. And that guy, that Leao was covering in that game, I forget the guy's name. He really killed us. He took advantage of Leao time and time again because Leao was not, there's certain pressing cues you look for as a player. If the player receives the ball, is it a loose touch? Is he not focused? Things like that. Once you see those pressing cues, that's when you press, that's when you attack, that's when you're all over the opponent and you're forcing him to make a mistake, right? Either to take the ball away from him, dispossess the ball, force him to make an error, a bad pass, or force him to go back to his keeper and recycle the play, all right? And that, which gives your defense more time to get its structure back, its shape back, right? Especially its back line. All right, so in order for our man-to-man press to work today, we need all 10 players to work together as a team, as a cohesive unit, like a pack of wolves. All right, something I've said time and time again. If we're not hunting like a pack of wolves, something that Liverpool does, we showed it early on. We showed it under Klopp. We showed it under Slot as well. They're gonna break our press super easy, extremely easy. So that's the first thing. All right. The second thing is our counter press. So early on, our counter press wasn't that effective. But what I saw in the Valencia game, and again, that's something we need to keep in context, is that Fofana and lost his cheeks surprisingly. Plus, he lost his cheeks at a decent game, his best game this season. I didn't expect that, but he counter pressed really effectively. It was a one time in the game, I think in the second half, he counter pressed, took the ball away, made a really good tackle. Quickly, took a one touch, with a through ball to Leao. Leao was 1v1 with the keeper and missed it, right? But if we can do that today, if our two pivot, if we're playing a 4-2-3-1 and our midfielders are able to counter press effectively, within trying to get the ball, you're pressing. As soon as you lose the ball within like 5 to 6 seconds, you're counter pressing immediately, trying to get that ball in really dangerous spots. All right. That's something we need to do today. If we're not able to counter press effectively, and we can't counter press like we did against Valencia, or counter pressing like we did in the first couple of games, again, Liverpool's going to be able to get the ball through, get it out to the wingers, and create scoring chances, right? And we got to win those 50-50 balls. 50-50 balls, we got to recover those balls, just like we did in our last game. For not, it's a long day. Also, our back line. This is important too. Our back line needs to stay compact. They need to be working effectively at all time, working together, right? Need to close out, especially close out and pressure the opponents when shooting or crossing. You can't give Liverpool or any high quality team, matter of fact, those opportunities, right? It's one thing that we've been doing lately. A lot of all the goals that we've given up this season have been unopposed, high quality shots from open play. Something we haven't given up too many set play goals, I don't think. Open play goals has been a thing again. An occurrence has been a fucking pattern. So you need to limit those high quality shots on goal, especially from open play. Because teams like Liverpool, that's what they're trying to do. Right? They're going to hit you with that press, counter press, take the ball away, get it out to the wingers, Diaz, Salah, right? And you try to, and then create havoc in the box either by trying to score goals, trying to create a penalty, a penalty, get a penalty kick, or get a cross into their sole back or Jota or Gapco, whoever's playing, right? Up front in that striker position. So that's extremely important stuff right there, fellas. We got to get our shit together today. All right? Because if we don't, defensively, especially defensively, I'm not worried about our offense. I think Pulisic and Morata and Leao, they're going to have their chances. All right? But defensively is going to be where we stand out today, especially like the first 20, 25 minutes of the game. We're going to see how this game really develops, right? Right? Let's see if we can withstand their pressure, because they're going to come at us from the opening bell. Liverpool's going to come. They're going to come hard with the press. They're going to try to, win a lot of balls in our end of the field and try to score early and quiet down San Siro. Let's get the chats going on here real quick. Hey, Zenos256, thanks for chiming in. Steve Wells. First timers, thanks for tuning in, fellas. So Steve Wells, let's give him a nod. I pray we play Pulisic on the right as he tracks back, because our so-called right side defense is frighteningly bad. Royale and Calabria from Syracuse's Chuck for in trouble if he doesn't defend. Yeah, Chuck, unfortunately, does not work hard off the ball. So that's something, that's something we need to consider too, because Chuck and Leao, our two wingers, don't work hard off the ball at all. I'd like to see Tijani in that attacking midfielder role, that cam, if we're playing that 4-2-3-1. All right, just like we saw in the last game. Tijani, Cam, Pulisic on the right. So Chuck plays, you make a good point, Steve. Chuck, just like Leao, does not work hard off the ball. Now, if you have two players on the pitch that don't work hard off the ball, then you only have, we're talking about only 8 players pressing. That's it. Not even 9. We should have 10. Realistically, you need 10, all 10 players to press, to work hard at the ball, try to, with the ball back, trying to slow down the opponent from getting to your attacking third, moving the ball up the field, things like that. And if you have 2 players not doing that goddamn thing, just being lazy, making it easy for those guys to move up the pitch, again, that's something you don't want especially against Liverpool. You have players like Salah, Diaz, Gapco, Jota, Nunez, those guys. So another thing real quick, let's get into the next. Fonseca going with a 4-3-3, so there's some rumors to some other probable lineups that we might go to a 4-3-3. So quickly, let's see here. If we go to a 4-3-3, I don't have it up here. Well, actually, I do have it up here. Hold on. What is it at? No, there we go. This is what I wanted. So if we play a 4-3-3, so according to this, if we play a 4-3-3, the other probable lineup is Calabria, Tomori, Pavlovic, Hernandez. And Pavlovic has got his left foot. He's a left foot center back. Loftus Cheeks, Reindeers, Fofana, Pulisic, Morata, which is a stronger lineup, especially with Tijani here and Pulisic on the right, because Pulisic works off the heart of the ball. So if Leao's not working on defensively, at least you have Pulisic. You have something. So just like I said, the 4-2-3-1 has its weaknesses. The 4-3-3 as well, right? And I'll get into it in a second. So let's get into the defensive stuff of the 4-3-3. So in a 4-3-3 system, the midfield defensive duties is important, just like the 4-2-3-1. All right. So when you have it first with 3 attacking players, in which the first line press can be vulnerable to 3 midfielders. So Loftus Cheeks, Reindeers, Fofana, right? Must be prepared to support the fullbacks. So this is an article from Coach's Voice. And this is something that was taught in my back 4. I took a class recently, football course, talking about a back 4 system. All right, the pros and cons, and you had to write a whole scouting report, like a game match report on using a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. All right. This is pretty much accurate what I went through in my course. So like I said, 3 midfielders must prepare to support the fullbacks covering behind when they are defending wide areas when the crosses can be delivered. This prevents the center backs from having to come out of the box. If your 3 midfielders are not doing their job defensively and helping out the fullbacks, all right, and not covering the third man runs or crosses, you're forcing Pavlovic, Tomori, or Gabi if he plays. I prefer Gabi back there. If they're not doing their job and you're forcing these 2 out of the box, all right, because they're supposed to be in the box, especially Pavlovic too and Tomori or Gabi. You're leaving players unmarked in the box. You're also leaving third man runs unopposed. So if they get the ball in the box and there's nobody there because they're being forced out, they're going to have really good chances to score goals inside the penalty area, right? So again, this area is right here, just like the 4-2-3-1. These areas here are the weak points of a 4-2-3-1 defensively. So again, these 2 midfielders, Fofana, Loftus Cheeks, let's see what they do, how they perform today. All right, because again, Loftus Cheeks does find himself out of position a lot of times. All right, in the last game he did a decent job, but if he finds himself out of position and he's not in his back in time, doesn't recover, is out of position defensively, he's way up the pitch, you're going to leave Deo alone. Same thing for Fofana. Fofana's not there where he's supposed to be. You're leaving Calabria by himself. And then also those third man runs in the box. There's nobody. These 2 should be back there covering those third man runs in the box as well. So like the 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, the midfielders, for me and a lot of coaches, like I used to coach for a little bit, a few years, or anybody who's played the game, you realize these midfielders are one of the most important parts of these formations defensively. All right. Because I think even Klopp, matter of fact, Klopp played a 4-3-3. And you like just go 4-2-3-1. The 4-3-3, you need three high quality midfielders. And let's be honest, we don't know Fofana yet. It's too early on. Lots of cheeks. Depends what he brings. He's mediocre. Reindeers defensively is mediocre. Offensively, he's good. But defensively, he finds himself out of position as well. So this is another possible lineup that Fonseca might try. But real quick, the one thing I have about this, one concern I have about this formation is we've never played this before during the season. Not during the pre-games, when we played in the United States. And we haven't even seen it during any of the games in Serie A. And Fonseca, the only time he's played a 4-3-3, it's not his favorite formation. He doesn't favor, like, say, Sadi. He's not really well adapted to coaching this, Fonseca. So you're asking these guys if he's going to go this route and play a 4-3-3. You're again, trying to get players to learn this formation, learn their responsibilities offensively and defensively. Just feed them all this new information in a matter of days. So see if they've been doing this for last week in training or 2 weeks, doing it in training and playing this formation against your second team or whoever, and then playing that against in a Champions League game in San Siro at home against Liverpool, of all people. It's a big task. It's a lot to ask for. Let's see what happens. All right, fellas. Now, let's see what we got in the chat. Oh, we got somebody else. Oh, I didn't even catch it. Sorry, Matthias HFG. For the interview, I heard that Case will probably come out of the bench. Yeah, heard that as well. Case might make his appearance against us today. So that'll be interesting. I'm sure a lot of Juventini fans, Juventino will be looking at that as well, looking at this game, trying to see how Chiesa, if he does come in, how he plays against Milan today for sure. All right, boom. Key matchups. So this is the big one. Let me bring back this here. All right. All right, so key matchups. So if we go with this lineup, the key matchups for us would be Leao, the first one, and Trent Alexander. I mean, Trent's got the speed. He's a pretty decent defender. All right. Let's see how Trent handles Leao, or can Leao take advantage of Trent and cause havoc, just like in the last game? Can Leao play like his potential, be a fucking star today, be our fucking number 10 and perform and see how those 1v1 duels work, in our favor today if they do. That's the first matchup. Second one, how is Konate and Van Dijk going to handle Morata? And obviously Pulisic as well when he comes in through centrally, right? Because also it might be picked up by Konate or McAllister or Gravenberch, right? But in terms of Morata, is Van Dijk going to mark him in most cases, depending on where Morata's at? If Morata's position here or his position over here. I think Morata, being that he's experienced, he's going to try to take advantage of Konate, who's less experienced. He's less menacing. So I'm thinking that Morata's going to probably float to this side of the pitch, try to get 1v1 against Konate in those positions. So that's another matchup to look at. With our striker with the center backs, where's he going to be lined up, right? Who's going to be covering him most of the time? Second one is Chukwueze or Pulisic if he plays here against Robertson or Chinikas. Like I said, he's decent as well, Robertson. That's another one we should look at. Now, from our perspective, this is the big one. Salah against Theo. So he's had a pretty good defensive start to the season. He had one game where he got benched because he wasn't trying hard, but overall last game he actually performed pretty well. And during with France's run at the Euros, he played well defensively too. So that's the first one, Salah and Theo. Salah's dangerous. He's found his a second life under Slot. He's rejuvenated. Let's see how he performs today and how Theo handles him. And if our midfielders play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, our midfielders, are they going to be able to do their job and cover these spaces here? All right. Those are the weak spots, the pain points of those formations, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Is these areas right here. Because you don't want to leave your fullback pinned in by himself most of the time. That's not the case. You don't want that. So if our midfielders are able to do their job and slow these Salah down with Loftus-Cheeks here, then we're going to be all right. Because you can't leave Theo 1v1 against Salah all the time. Just like you can't leave Leao and Trent all the time. Right? Because McAllister's got to do his job as well for Liverpool. But for us, let's see how Salah and Theo, how that pans out today. And if Loftus-Cheek does his job, he helps him out. Same thing on this side with Diaz. Is it Diaz or Nunez or whoever? Both speedy wingers too. Right? They're dangerous players out in the wing. Just like I said, Liverpool likes to play out in the wings, likes to get the ball out to the wingers and create havoc. So this one's another one. Calabria is most likely going to get the start. The Diaz-Calabria matchup. And also with Yusuf Fofana do his job and help him out from time to time. All right, that's another big matchup we got to look at. Because if we get the Calabria that played against KK from Napoli, we're going to be okay. At least we could shut down one side of the pitch and force Liverpool to play on the other side of the pitch more. All right, take this field away from them. If we could take one side of the pitch away from Liverpool and shut that down majority of the game, that's going to give us a better chance of slowing down Liverpool for sure. Because you're only giving them one side, the other side of the pitch. You're not giving them the whole side of the pitch to attack us. So that's another key matchup. The other one is Jota, Solovic with their center backs. All right, and our midfielders too, because Solovic might make those third man runs. Loftus-Cheeks and Fofana's got to be responsible for that as well. And where's Jota going to line up? Or Gapco? Is he going to try to take advantage of Tomori and drift towards his way? Right? Have Tomori mark him? Because we do play a zonal defense. We don't mark man. Like nobody marks man anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. Or is he going to try to play against Pavlovic, knowing that he has a tendency to make, really silly fouls and trying to get, either Pavlovic a yellow card early on or get Liverpool in dangerous spots with free kicks. So those are the matchups that we're going to look at today. All right, so a lot happening today, fellas. A lot happening. Milan Nation. All right. So see what happens. Like my predictions, honestly, I don't like to make predictions, but current form, I'm going to say if we play our game, that's a big if. If our team comes back motivated and they believe Fonseca's system, all right, Fonseca, I don't know what formation he's going to go with. He's going to go with a 4-3-3, which I said, playing that last minute against a team like Liverpool is not the best option. But if you stick with the 4-2-3-1, you stick with that formation that we had against Venezia with Pulisic on the right, Tijani is a cam. And Loftus-Cheek can play like he played last game, and he doesn't fuck off. He doesn't. He's out of position time and time again. If he does things like that, like he's done in the past, we're in trouble. But I would say if we can control the first 25 minutes of the game, 30 minutes, at 0-0, we can come out with a tie against Liverpool. It's possible. I don't see Liverpool. If we get smacked around, Liverpool scores early on. If they're they come out like they said, if they're going to come out hard, and we don't handle the press well, all right, and we're making errors, and we can't get the ball through our midfielders and to Tijani or whoever to move up the pitch because they don't play direct. Liverpool's going to score early then, all right, most likely. If they score early on in the first 5-10 minutes of the game, either Salah or Diaz or whatever. In trouble for sure. It's going to be hard to come back against because that's going to shut down the San Siro crowd. And according to I don't know how they sold tickets today, and like last time, I know John and Shane, like two of the co-hosts, they covered it on Milanista 360. That's the OG show on this channel. They only had I think there were like 15 or 20,000 tickets still unsold in San Siro. So I know it might be a late minute rush, and if that stadium is not full to its capacity because of, who knows, the ticket prices, or they're just upset. They're just enough big FU to Redbird, to Fonseca too, for the poor start. It's going to give Liverpool the advantage. But if San Siro is rocking and the first 25 minutes is 0-0, it's a back and forth matchup. We get our chances. Liverpool gets a chance. It's still 0-0 after 30 minutes. We can come out with a tie. That's not a bad start. They'll give us some confidence going into the next game against Inter, give us a point, and then we can worry about the next match. Don't forget, our cousins are playing Man City today as well. That's not an easy match. I know they played them in the Champions League final, was it 2 seasons ago? And he just lost 1-0. So they just got their hands full as well because Man City is not a joke at all. All right, let's take the chat. All right. So, final segment for today's pregame. Questions from the listeners. All right. This is your chance to get your questions in about today's game. All right. Predictions as well. Give me predictions what you think, how Milan's going to play, what the score is going to be today. What we're going to get. Are we going to tie? Are we going to win? Are we going to lose? We get smacked around 4-0 and get embarrassed? Give me your thoughts, Milan Nation. All right, let's hear it. Yeah, listen up. Everybody again on this Tuesday morning out here in Mexico. So right now it's 7 o'clock my time. Thanks again. Appreciate it, Milan Nation, for tuning in, for locking into the show. All right. Always appreciate the support. But here's your chance. Get your predictions in, get your questions in. Let's do it. All right. That's all I got for today. All right. So a quick recap for anybody just tuning in. We went over the two possible formations that we're seeing. You know, one says we were playing a 4-2-3-1. Other one says 4-3-3. Went over some of the ways that Liverpool can expose those two formations. With their wingers. And what our midfielders need to do in order to slow that down. Went over Liverpool's pressing system, how they're pressing under slot. Went over our pressing system. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention, I want to see is how we're going to play on our rest defense. So that's anybody who's not familiar with the rest defense. It's when we're in the attack, right? We have the ball. How is our support behind the ball? How are we set up? Because currently what we're doing is our two fullbacks, Dio and Calabria, or fucking Royale Emerson, or Emerson Royale. They're both going up the pitch, high up in the attack, right? Which I don't understand why Royale's up there. He doesn't give anything to the attack, doesn't scare anybody with the ball. But what we're doing is sending those two fullbacks up there. A lot of times our two midfielders are high up the pitch as well, in the attack. Maybe Fofana is the holding midfielder. But that leaves our two center backs by themselves exposed. And that's how we're getting hit on the counterattacks, right? Because once we lose the ball and we're not counter pressing effectively, supposed to the first few games before yesterday's, on Saturday's game, actually, we're getting hit, and that's how teams are scoring goals to us and getting opportunities to score goals, high quality chances. But if Fonseca's seeing this, I'd like to see if we do it right. We need to keep one of our fullbacks back there. We can't commit. So Calabria, if he's starting in that right back position, needs to stay back, form that back three, right? Rest defense, create that support behind the ball, protection, that shield behind the ball. So if we do lose the ball and they try to counter us, at least we have three players back there. So that's something else to look for as well. All right. Because if we're playing that, if we're setting our two fullbacks up, Liverpool will hit us on the counterattack. And fucking hard and fast. So that's something else to keep an eye out for today. All right. So again, get your questions in, predictions in. Let's hear it, Milan Nation. Let's go. If not, I'm giving you another couple minutes, and I'm going to cut this. We're going to end the show today. All right. But again, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like. All right. And, watch our previous videos as well. All right. We have a post-game show yesterday. I had to put a post-game show this weekend from the Venezia game. You guys might want to check out. Shane and John put out a pod this weekend as well on Milanista 360. That's a good show, too. It talks about the new logo with the Yankees. A bunch of other really interesting topics about our current other club right now. Things are going on. Yo, Kim, you tuned in, bro. Yeah, you missed out most of the show. Hey, Kim, quick thing. What's your thoughts on today's game? Let's hear it, Kim. You think we're going to win, lose, tie? I think we're in for a tie today. That's just trying to be positive. No, I haven't seen it, but I care less about the merch. I'm not buying any new merch. The last merch that I bought was this jersey. But Kim, more importantly, what do you think about today's game? We're going to get our butts handed. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there you go. Draw. I think a draw is possible if we can, withstand Liverpool's pressure for the first 30 minutes, so 25. Just like that Napoli game, man. Like that when we played Napoli in the Champions League. Napoli came out hard, if you guys remember. And we stood their pressure for the first few minutes, like first 25, 30 minutes as well. And that's how we were able to beat them. Yeah, me too. I'd be very happy with the tie. I'm not happy, but shit, the way things are going, the way the team looks, I think we could be all, content with the tie today. Give us maybe a little bit of a push for that derby against our cousins, because that's something that's coming around the corner as well. And we've lost with the last 7 derbies, which is ridiculous. We got to try to go into that derby. I know we don't want to lose focus on the derby and just focus on today's game, but that derby is important as well. We can't go into that derby and get smacked around and get embarrassed again. So last time we played Inter, they won the fucking Scudetto in front of our fans. So a lot happening. All right, fellas. Everyone in the chat, Milan Nation, thanks again. All right, I'm out. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoys today's game. All right. Let's get those points. Yeah. Listen, it was Venezia. Kim. Let's see. Hopefully we got a little bit of hope, a little bit of especially I think it gave Fonseca some breathing room. Because if we had lost that game, in the back of the head, he would be like, yeah, I'm getting canned really soon. I'm getting fired. I'm losing my job. But being that they won that game convincingly, that gives him some breathing room and a little bit of, confidence in himself and his coaching staff. They're doing something right. Maybe a little bit of respect from the team as well, from the players. All right. Other than that, fellas, Milan Nation, I'm off. Forza Milan. Enjoy today's match. And take care.
Ale, Milan, Ale, we fight to the end. Forza, Lada, venture when the champions ascend. From the curve to the pitch, we hold it down. Rossoneri in the blood, we run this town. Yo, it's red and black, the Warriors strike back. From San Siro Knights to the frontline attack. With Maldini's ghost, we defend like a wall. In the streets and the stands, we live for football. Tactics tight, we move with precision. AC Milan's more than just a mission. 7 on our chest, history in the air. When we step on the field, no opponent can compare. It's glory we seek, trophies we stack. Rossoneri forever, we never look back. Ale, Milan, Ale, we fight to the end. Forza, Lada, venture when the champions ascend. From the curve to the pitch, we hold it down. Rossoneri in the blood, we run this town. Yo, in the heart of the city, where legends are born. Through the sweat and the blood, our colors are worn. Defenders like steel, midfield like art. In this war of football, Milan stands apart. From Shepherds Latin, kings of the game. Our passion runs deep, always chasing the flame. Yo, the curve is still chance, the whole world listens. AC Milan shines bright with ambition and vision. We rise through the struggle, we rise to the win. Rossoneri till the grave, let the dynasty begin. Ale, Milan, Ale, we fight to the end. Forza, Lada, venture when the champions ascend. From the curve to the pitch, we hold it down. Mercenary in the blood, we run this town. Don't fade and block down. 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 In the heart of the city, where legends are born, through the